This is Michael Faulkner, and it's showtime, the September 27th, 2011 edition of the weekly Podioplex, brought to you by the Chronic Rift. Before we get started, I have a quick programming note. As you heard earlier on this week on the network, the laptop gnomes are back with a vengeance. As a result, this episode might not sound as polished and clean as it normally does. As soon as we get the technical difficulties ironed out, the quality you expect from the Chronic Rift will be back in your earbuds. Let's get rolling with the box office results, starting with number 10, and I Don't Know How She Does It, down from last week's 6th place position. At number 9 is Straw Dogs, down from 5th. In 8th place is The Help, slipping 4 spots from 4th. In 7th is last week's 3rd, Drive. And at 6th place is last week's runner-up, Contagion. In 5th place, we start our lineup of new releases, beginning with Killer Elite at $9.4 million. In 4th place is Abduction, premiering with $10.9 million. In 3rd place is Dolphin Tale, starting its run with $19.2 million. This tops 8 Below for the best opening ever for a live-action animal-based family movie. Coming in at 2nd place is Moneyball, batting up $19.5 million for the best debut ever for a baseball movie, and a 5th place finish in the sports movie genre. But holding onto the throne for a second week is The Lion King 3D, rounding up another $21.9 million to bring the movie to $61.4 million total. This places Simba and Company at number 12 on the all-time domestic charts and potentially poises the film to break $400 million in total earnings since the initial 1994 release. The Lion King was originally slated for a 2-week limited engagement. However, with the success over those 2 weeks, Disney has decided to extend the release for another week. If it continues to do well, it may stick around for a little while longer. So what will September 30th bring us to potentially dethrone the Lion? The first contender is 50/50, a comedy drama starring Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Seth Rogen, and Anna Kendrick. 50/50 is a comedic account of a 27-year-old guy's cancer diagnosis and his subsequent struggle to beat the disease. 50/50 is rated R. Next up is Dream House, a mystery thriller drama starring Daniel Craig, Rachel Weisz, and Naomi Watts. Soon after moving into their seemingly idyllic new home, a family learns of a brutal crime committed against a former resident of the dwelling. Dream House is rated PG-13. Next on the slate is What's Your Number, a comedy starring Anna Faris, Chris Evans, and Ari Graynor. A woman looks back at the past 20 men she's had relationships with in her life and wonders if one of them might be her one true love. What's Your Number is rated R. And last on the wide release slate is Courageous, a drama starring Alex Kendrick, Ken Bevel, and Kevin Downs. When tragedy strikes close to home, 4 police officers struggle with their faith and their roles as husbands and fathers. Together they make a decision that will change all of their lives. Courageous is rated PG-13. In limited release, we have Margaret, a drama starring Anna Paquin, Matt Damon, and Mark Ruffalo. A young woman witnesses a bus accident and is caught up in the aftermath, where the question of whether or not it was intentional affects many people's lives. Margaret is rated R. We also have Take Shelter, a drama starring Michael Shannon, Jessica Chastain, and Shea Wiggum. Plagued by a series of apocalyptic visions, a young husband and father questions whether to take shelter with his family for a coming storm, or from himself. Take Shelter is rated R. September 27th's home entertainment slate is more than meets the eye, with Transformers Dark of the Moon, a sci-fi action-adventure starring Shia LaBeouf, Rosie Huntington-Whiteley, and Tyrese Gibson. The Autobots learn of a Cybertronian spacecraft hidden on the moon and race against the Decepticons to reach it and learn its secrets. Transformers Dark of the Moon is rated PG-13. If Autobots and Decepticons aren't quite your flavor, we have plenty of releases from TV on DVD, starting with Army Wives Season 5, a drama series starring Kim Delaney, Catherine Bell, and Brian McNamara. It's a year of extraordinary changes as the tribe leans on each other for support after the devastating loss of a loved one. Denise has her hands full with a newborn baby, Claudia Joy prepares to send Emmeline off to college, and Roxy contemplates a new business venture while trying to balance life at home. Meanwhile, Pamela makes a life-changing decision, while Joan and Roland consider expanding their family. It's also a big week for crime investigation procedurals with the next 3 entries, starting with CSI Crime Scene Investigations, Season 11, starring Lawrence Fishburne and Mark Helgenberger. Joining that one are CSI New York Season 7, starring Gary Sinise and Celia Ward, and CSI Miami Season 9, starring David Caruso and Emily Proctor. Each of these series features an elite team of police forensic evidence investigation experts as they work their cases in each respective city. Next up is How I Met Your Mother Season 6, starring Josh Radnor, Jason Segel, and Neil Patrick Harris. The more things change, the more they get interesting. Ted's search for the one continues while Marshall and Lily hope to become parents. Barney makes an uproariously awkward attempt to find his real father, and Robin finally feels like a true New Yorker. Getting mysterious on you is Kojak Season 2, a mystery series starring Telly Savalas. The lollipop-packing, dapper detective Lieutenant Theo Kojak returns to lay down the law in homicide cases involving organized crime, terrorists, drug traffickers, a serial bomber, and a killer multi-million-dollar thief, in an investigation that sends Kojak undercover as a Greek millionaire. Whether it's utilizing his irresistible charm or bending the rules to catch a murderer, you can always expect that Kojak will close the case. Next is Law & Order Special Victims Unit, Season 12, a procedural drama starring Mariska Hargitay and Christopher Maloney. Detectives Elliot Stabler and Olivia Benson take on sexual crimes of a more sinister and dynamic nature than ever before, including those involving runaway children, an American sex trade operation, and serial rapists. And finally, we have Married with Children, the complete series, a sitcom starring Ed O'Neill, Christina Applegate, and Katie Seagal. Spend some quality time with the family as you join hardworking husband Al, housework-hating wife Peg, sexy daughter Kelly, and hopelessly horny son Bud to celebrate brilliantly tasteless, daringly raunchy, and devilishly clever comedy that puts the fun in dysfunctional. Last on the slate, we have 3 classics coming to Blu-ray. The first is Ben-Hur, an action-adventure drama from 1959 starring Charlton Heston, Jack Hawkins, and Stephen Boyd. When a Jewish prince is betrayed and sent into slavery by a Roman friend, he regains his freedom and comes back for revenge. Ben-Hur is not rated. Next up is Mimic, a horror sci-fi thriller from 1997 starring Mira Sorvino, Jeremy Northam, and Alexander Goodwin. 3 years ago, entomologist Dr. Susan Tyler genetically created an insect to kill cockroaches carrying a virulent disease. Now that the insects are out to destroy their only predator, mankind. Mimic is rated R. And last is Footloose, a musical romantic drama from 1984 starring Kevin Bacon, Laurie Singer, and John Lithgow. A city boy comes to a small town where rock music and dancing have been banned. I also have a soft spot for this movie because it was fun, and it was filmed in the state where I grew up. Footloose is rated PG. Let's wrap this up with 2 items in the quick flicks. So much for that boycott. Sales of the Star Wars Blu-ray box set have made the 9-disc collection the #1 pre-order and catalog title since Blu-ray launched in 2006. Over 1 million boxes were sold, 515,000 of them here in North America, bringing the total revenue to over $84 million. Like it or not, Star Wars is still a juggernaut. This October, it'll be dogs and cats living together with mass hysteria. Ghostbusters are returning to theaters, but only for 3 nights. The film will show in about 500 theaters across the United States on October 13th, 20th, and 27th for 1 showtime each day. Sony reports that the film will be shown in digital format with 5.1 surround sound. Ghostbusters will also be showing in select theaters in Canada and in various international markets, and Sony recommends checking parkcircus.com for showtimes and venues. For domestic audiences, Sony plans to announce the times and venues on Facebook at facebook.com/Ghostbusters, under the Twitter handle Stay Puffed Forever, that's Stay Puffed like the Marshmallow Man, the number 4 followed by the letters EVA, or by visiting Ghostbusters.com. Don't worry, those links will be in the show notes. Let's get out of here before the laptop gnomes show up. If you want to discuss anything you heard on this week's edition, please take a moment to get in touch. You can surf on over to chronicriff.com and leave a note in the forums. You can leave a voicemail at 888-866-9010, or you can write to John at chronicriff.com. You can follow us on Tumblr, tweet us on Twitter, check into the network on GetGlue, or leave us a review on iTunes. You'd also find the weekly Podioplex and the Chronic Rift on Facebook. We are all over the internet. If you decide to pick up any of this week's new releases, why not do it through our Amazon store? You get the newest entertainment at Amazon's low prices and high-quality service, and each purchase you make through the store supports the Chronic Rift. Look for the link in our show notes. The weekly Podioplex is a collaboration of Creative Criticality and Lucky Shot Productions. This is Michael Faulkner. Thanks for listening. We'll see you at the theater.